Live at Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, bringing you the best in real Texas barbecue. This is Sooner Sports Talk on the Sooner Sports Network from Learfield.
Left wing inside the arc, spin back, 3-ball in the air. Got it! Between his legs, drives baseline, up and under, got fouled, put it up, and one! And he flexes. Crossover into the lane, goes right by everybody, and he hammers it. Rebound battered around, it's up, it's no good! You cannot hitch the wagon! Put the ponies in the barn!
Sooner Sports Talk is brought to you by Dos Equis, official import beer of OU Athletics. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Now here's Chris Plank.
Country Store and Barbecue. This is Sooner Sports Talk, and we are pumped to be talking some OU women's basketball for our first 30 minutes. Say hello to Sooner assistant coach Mike Neal. Mike Neal is here. Coach Baranczyk is out recruiting, and she needs no introduction. The All-American Reagan Beers. What's up, Reagan?
What's up?
Welcome back. Welcome back. Coach, I'll start with you.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations on this incredible run this team has been in the midst of, and a great start. I know Coach Jenny B is out recruiting, but how have things been from the coaching side of things with this crew?
It's been great. Going into SEC, we get a chance to see how much we really grown, especially in the non-conference. But these past 2 games have been really, really good for us, especially on the defensive end. We pretty locked in whenever it comes to assignments and the work, and a lot of that has to do with Reagan and the leadership.
Second in the country in opponent field goal percentage right now. It seems like this team decided they were going to be defensive stalwarts this offseason, huh? What clicked?
Maybe we were sick of getting yelled at for not playing defense.
Say it again, Reagan.
But no, we have a great group of guards who really set the tone every single day. Obviously, Zaya starting out every single game as a ball stopper and doing all the work that no one really wants to do. And then you have Kazai coming off the bench, Kai coming off the bench, impacting the game. Sahara, obviously, with her intensity, starting off strong. So we just have a great group of girls who want to work, and defensively that comes in handy when we need to play defense.
Okay, there's a word that comes to mind. I haven't got to hang with you guys too much yet, but what I notice in watching you from afar, the term that keeps coming up is selfless. You got 5 different players, 5 starters that average in double figures. It seems like it's a different person every night who might be leading the way. Is that a fair assessment of what this locker room's like?
100%, and that's how we function off the court. It's really cool to see how we interact like that and the culture that then carries from off the court to on the court. And so one of our favorite things to figure out after a game and learn is how many assists did we get and how can we improve to get that number higher. And so as a team, we want that to be one of our goals is for that to be the highest and most efficient thing we do. And so when you have a team like that who is selfless and wants to be leading the world in assists.
5th in the country right now, by the way, 21.6 per game, so not too bad, right?
Not too bad.
That's on that path. All right, that's all the stats I have for tonight's show. Thanks for joining us. But for you, Coach Neal, to see this and to hear one of the players in that locker room say it, it's got to be an incredible feeling to know how truly selfless and the things that you're coaching, they're being received.
Yeah, absolutely. The best thing about it is, everybody knows that they're responsible for bringing everything that they have. And if we don't bring everything we have, then we're not as good as we want to be. So when it comes to the leadership, we talked about that. Reagan's presence is really, really huge on this team. She doesn't have to say a word, but whenever she's there, her energy is contagious. Same thing with Sahara. Peyton's voice is obviously something that everybody pays attention to, and Beatrice fills in the gap. So with everybody, with our underclassmen, they pay attention to them a lot, and then they set the example on the tone of how things should be ran and run, and they just fall into place. So it makes it a little bit easier. It's
got to be pretty cool to see the core that graduated a couple years ago. Then you come in, Reagan, and you're part of that with Sahara and Peyton, who I love Peyton Verhulst. Feels like she's been in college for about 20 years now. But I love watching her play. And you mentioned that leadership. You guys just have really meshed together. What do you think has been the key to that?
Oh, man, I feel like we all bring a different form of leadership to this team, where Peyton is very vocal. And if you've been to a game, you'll hear it. If you come to a practice, you will hear it. But she is the most vocal person. She is the coach on the court. So you have that form of leadership. Then you have Sahara, who is the one constantly bringing energy, is the first one to go dive on the ground for a ball. And then you have Beatrice, who is that quiet from the sideline, going to teach you lots of things, and your brain's going to explode because she's going to try to explain something in a very analytical way because she's a genius. And so you have all those different types of leaderships just combining to then uplift these younger classmen, which I think is a really unique thing that we have.
This opening segment is presented by Noble McIntyre with McIntyre Law. Noble McIntyre, McIntyre Law, award-winning Oklahoma personal injury attorneys. Coach, let's talk about the start to conference play. You guys have really not held back, which has been fun to watch, starting out 2-0 with 2 impressive wins. Go on the road, take care of A&M, and then just really pulled away from Mississippi State on Sunday.
Yeah, A&M, I mean, fresh off the break, our first one. So we had a lot of things to try to just wrinkle out whenever we were in there at the very beginning. Like, the best thing about it is that, you know, we guarded. And especially in the second half, we did a really good job of just locking in and staying connected to, like, a lot of times whenever we're out there and we're guarding, it leads to easy offense for us, and it kind of makes things a little bit easier for us. Just trying to figure out things, and you know, Texas A&M really good. They're physical. Yep. I mean, ask Reagan. I mean, every time that she's coming in the paint, they're trying to chuck her and hit her. But in the Mississippi State game, I mean, we carried over, and I think. We fed off of what we did in Texas A&M. We had a lot of fun too. I mean, there was one run out that Kaya gets a steal, and Reagan does her best Usain Bolt impression, and we hit her for an option 1 layup, and that was really cool.
Fastest I've ever run in my life.
Okay, and this isn't an officiating shot or anything. I sometimes wonder how you do it, because I feel like teams are getting more physical with you than you've typically seen. How have you handled that? Has it been anything that's, I don't know, tested you in your, I'm going to lose my mind meter? But, I mean, what has that been like for you to see just how physical teams are not afraid to get with you?
Yeah, it's going to be really weird, but it was funny. Sahara and I were talking after the second game, or one of the games from this past week, but we were sitting on the bench, and I'm like, as much as it hurt getting hit in the face every time I shot the layup, I missed it. Like, I missed not having to worry about hitting someone, knocking them over, and getting an offensive foul. It's like now I'm hitting people who are my size, and they're not going to fall over. If they do, they look kind of silly.
Right.
So it's like a 6'4" girl falling. That rarely happens. I would know. And if we fall, we hurt, so we don't want to fall. And so it's just a lot more fun because I can go against people my size, and I like the test.
Yeah. And I think with the scoring options that this team has, Coach, it makes it hard to just say, all right, we're going to shut down Reagan Beers, because you have sharpshooters all around. You're going to get physical. She can make free throws or foul her, whatever term you want to use. I mean, it's a myriad of weapons that you have.
Yeah, who are you going to guard?
Right.
So the thing about it is, like, and Reagan knows this, we're in practice. If you're not bringing everything that you can, and like, it hurts everybody. So you got to be able to show up and do what you do best, and then, like, it's hard to guard. So I think the best thing about our group right now is, one, that says, you said we're 5th in the country. Sometimes we don't pay attention to those numbers, but we're selfless whenever it comes to that. The open man's going to get it. You got to be ready to pass it, shoot it, drive it, and then pick people apart in our offense. So it's a cool thing to watch when we're hitting on all cylinders.
Let me not bury the lead. They are number 2 in the country, 94.5 points per game. So you still go out and score. Yep. It was, and I think you've been open about this. We've talked about it on my radio show, that it was an adjustment, because it was a different style, what you came from and what you played now. Year 2 in that, all right, let's go, get up and down. What's that been like for you, the adjustment?
It's fun. Aaliyah Chavez, I know we haven't talked about her, brings another level of pace to our game that has just elevated this whole team, and she's done a fantastic job of handling a lot of voices, and she continues to do that. And so it's been fun to challenge her and then have her challenge us with our pace.
Another player that I think you can use that term selfless on, right? Kind of in the way that she's handled things, and seeing Aaliyah come in as maybe one of the more hyped recruits, and you went through that too, so you can be an ear to help her if she has any questions. But it just seems as if it's been pretty smooth in watching her basically be a part of this team.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that go unseen, a lot of work that goes unseen, especially when it comes to Aaliyah Chavez. And so I tell her almost every single day, I'm like, I'm proud of you, and you take on a lot as a point guard, a freshman point guard coming in expected to run an offense where it's a read and react, and you don't have a set play, and you got to tell people where to go, and you got to know what you're doing. You got to know where everybody else is going. And so to come into a team like that at this level in the SEC, one of the best conferences in women's basketball, it's a hard thing to do, and there's a lot that goes unseen, but we're proud of her for what she's been through and what she's been able to achieve so far.
What have you seen from the freshmen?
The great thing about them is that, again, we have an example to look at, and a lot of times whenever even Aaliyah, I know she's a freshman, she starts, but whenever they're on the bench and they're watching, it's always, let's like pay attention to what's going on. You know, pay attention to how they work, how they're talking, how they're leading. And then whenever you get in there, the expectation falls on you to do some of the same stuff. So even when we're not playing in the games, a lot of times they meet with each other, watch film, they have individuals. They do a lot of things together because they want to be prepared whenever they get on the floor.
Well, and you just said there's a lot of things we don't see.
Yeah.
Stuff like that film work. Like I'm not asking for all the secrets here, but what are some of that work that you guys are doing that we don't see that maybe fans need to know about?
I mean, we get in the gym a lot, to say the least. I know Aaliyah probably leads the team in those hours with her dad in the gym and things like that. But watching lots of film, obviously, Mike does a great job of taking the young ones aside and asking where they need help. Do they need to watch film? How can we help you understand more, understand our offense, understand defense? And so the freshmen have put in a lot of work to understand a lot of the things that they want to understand and don't necessarily understand yet.
Yeah. And at this point, a lot of it's self-directed too. So at the very beginning of the year, it's like a lot of, hey, this is what you need to do. And now they're doing things on their own. So like they'll come and they'll meet, especially when we had the break, we had a lot of time. They'll meet, they'll shoot, they'll get the weights in together, obviously, and then we have practice. And then afterwards, we're hitting scouts. We're hitting just attention to detail on what they really, really need. So it's been really cool.
All right, we got another segment with Coach Neal. Are you sticking around for another segment, Reagan?
I don't know. I can if you want me to, or I can head out.
Well, I want you to.
Okay.
They had originally said Peyton was going to be here, so when I
yeah.
made that joke, I thought she was here. But since she's not, are you good to hang for another segment?
Yeah, sure will.
All right, more with Reagan Beers. How about that sales job? Stick around. We're live from Rudy's.
Sooner Sports Talk is brought to you by Bob Moore Ford, official sponsor of the Patriot of the Game. Riverwind Casino, the official entertainment destination of OU Athletics. Walden Cleaners and Laundry, where the difference is quality. Love's, the heart of the highway.
Look at that. Look at that.
Mike!
Look at it. Have you seen some footage of
No,
Coach
we
Neal?
don't need to. We don't need to do that.
Play it again. That's so cool.
29 points in this game. Look at him D'ing up. Take the rebound away, Mike Neal.
Hey.
Let's go. 29 points. I think it was like 8 threes in this game. And Oklahoma beats Iowa State. Look at that.
Coach Mike, can we show this in practice
Let's
tomorrow?
not do that. Let's not do that.
They don't know?
They don't need to know. They don't
Can you send me this film? Can you send me this film? I need this
That
film.
was a team now. That was a squad. That was fun. I can't believe. Look, do you see those hands?
Look at those hands. No wonder we know how to play
Reagan,
defense.
that's a foul right there, man.
Look at that.
That's
That was a great day. I was there.
I need these clips.
This
Seriously.
this was a fun team. Went to the was this year 1 or was this
That
year
was-
06?
That
This
was
05.
06.
Yeah, 06.
06, yeah.
Made the run to the
Oh,
NCAA
your eye.
tournament. Money. Look at that. Mike Neal baller.
Your jerseys are so big.
And I'm so tiny.
Mike Neal, for those who don't know, was not only an incredible hooper that averaged 11 points per game, 2.6 rebounds per game, and has 136 career three-pointers, but in 7 seasons at Norman High, you were 43-1 over your final 2 years. I think COVID was the only thing that kept you from winning a state championship in 2020. But, I mean, you've had quite a run and sticking around here. Take me through
a lot of fun.
Yeah, the coaching being in your DNA, and just had you always kind of thought that was going to be a future for you?
Well, I think whenever you're playing basketball, you want to find a way to stay around it. So coaching was like, okay, that's what I'll do whenever I'm done playing. And when I was done playing in Europe, I come back and I come right back to Norman. I just missed it and I loved it, and I'm just happy to be here. Blessed.
8 seconds left. You had to hit a free throw to win that game.
I got fouled on the 3. Coach Sampson said, "You better not miss." I was like, "Yep." Put a little bit more pressure onto it.
That's great.
But it was fun.
That's great. But and then I just thought the girls' game at Norman, and then on to the women's game. What kind of drew you to that side of hoops?
I just, man, I remember when I came back and I was done playing overseas, and I was like, I really want to stick to basketball. I thought it was going to be on the men's side, but then I got to start training a couple of kids, and it was a group of young boys and young girls, and the guys were rambunctious, wouldn't listen, and doing whatever they want to, and then like on the flip side, some of the young girls were like they were all ears, and they were eager to learn and wanting more. It was easy to gravitate towards them. I think that's kind of how it started.
I have 2 daughters, and they listen to everyone else but me. So
Well,
that's a
Smart
really,
girls.
yeah,
Yeah.
very smart, right? They don't listen to Dad ever. They listen to everyone else. Reagan, let's talk about the streak. I know that I've overdone it probably on the numbers so far. But for this team, I know there was the frustration with UCLA earlier this year, but that's one game and it doth not define a season. What have you seen that's really kind of clicked for this team over the last few weeks?
Oh, man, I feel like we're just learning to read each other in an offense where it's lots of read and react, and you got to figure out who likes the ball where and when this person's going to cut, and especially Aaliyah and I trying to figure out where she wants the ball and where she likes it. That constant communication between each other, especially offensively, has been really, really important. I think has helped us click to this point.
And obviously it's a team that doesn't, with its leadership and with its talent, Coach, they're not going to stay down too terribly long, even when they hit some adversity.
No, I mean they've been through the gauntlet of a lot, and but the best thing about it is whenever things hit the fan, especially for those young ones, they know exactly who to look at, and then but they're challenged every day. Jenny's not she's not lowering expectations, and they know that. I mean, when she gets out there and she starts beating up Reagan and Sahara and doing everything she can to pull the most out of them, they know the expectation. The bar is set pretty high, so we can't have down days, and we don't because of them.
Well, and you got a great spirit, obviously. I'm not just saying this because you're sitting next to me. You got a great energy. I think the term would be aura about you. But it's also, right? Is
Tell
that
them,
fit or is that?
No, you're so right.
Yeah, see? But what I love about Reagan Beers is how you're so much more than just a basketball player. And I loved how last year we were making ceramic dishes for One Oklahoma. What, did you knit for your teammates? Is this true last summer or last Christmas, or am I misremembering?
Yeah, I don't think I've been on here since I did that. I made blankets for all my teammates for Christmas last year because I just wanted to do something.
Well, so what's the next? So then let's see. We got knitting.
Yeah.
We got not clay. What am I saying? Ceramics.
Clay's,
Right?
Clay's a good term.
All right. What else am I missing out here in the repertoire?
I mean, I've done wood burning. That was fun. Not too good. Not my favorite thing. I make cards. I make all Christmas cards this year. So
Homemade?
Yes, I got a Cricut. And yes, I hear clapping. All you art people, let me put you on. If you like making crafts, Cricut is the way to go.
Okay, well,
so I got a Cricut.
What is it?
So it's not a pet. It's not an animal. Let's just put that out there. It's not an animal. It's a machine that does all sorts of things. It makes stickers. It makes cards. It writes things for you. It does all sorts of stuff. Yeah, write that down.
I'm writing it down.
Yeah,
It sounds like for a creative 11-year-old that can't stand Dad, this might get me.
There you go.
This might get me back on the good side
You
right
got plenty
here.
of time to save up because Christmas just happened. So
That's
you got
right.
plenty of time.
Her birthday's not till March, so we got plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
How important is that time away for you? The defrag, if you will.
Really important. I was actually just talking to my sister as I was walking in here, and she was talking about things that she wants to get into that needs her to step away from basketball because she plays at Belmont currently, and so she's trying to figure out things that she can step away from, decompress, and it's beyond important. And if everybody's like, what's one piece of advice? What's one piece of advice? I'm like, find something you love that is not your sport. Because there is beauty in that, and you can learn to love something else. Because basketball's not going to last forever. Hate to break it to you, your sport doesn't last forever. You do get old. Peyton is feeling that this year. And so
Okay, I'm sorry, Peyton. This is my fault. I started this.
she does it to herself, all right. But it'll end. It comes to an end, and so I'm lucky to have the opportunity to most likely go and play pro next year, but it does end, and so to have that is important.
This segment is presented by Dos Equis. Dos Equis, the official import beer of OU Athletics. Go for Dos. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. And, Coach, it's kind of wild because there's always different approaches, right? There's the I need to get away. There's the people that I just can't get away. But I kind of think as coaches and as fans, we've learned these student athletes, these athletes in general, they do need some time away. They do need some time to decompress.
Yeah. And if they don't, then the season kind of runs like together. So like if we don't have that time, then once season ends, and then like you get them in the off season, and then next thing you know, the new ones come, and then it's camp, and then boom, you're hitting it and running. So like you got to find time to have those segments to where you can just say, hey, this is a me day. This is some me time that I really got to take advantage of. And I think we do a good job of that.
Well, and I think, too, Reagan, you probably agree, this coaches need it as well. You got a family, and I know that you probably haven't got to see as much of them as you want.
Well, I mean, with that, like, I think the best thing about our situation is Jenny has her family there. So, like, it's really inviting to where Jenny's family's there, my family's there, like Courtney, Keish, like, you got kids. They're always around somehow, some way. So, like, it's just one big family.
Oh, that's cool.
You say that all the time, but we're really living it.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, before we let you guys go, we got a couple minutes left. Reagan, I'll start with you. We have a great supporter for OU women's basketball here, a great support group that's made it in here to Rudy's tonight. They've helped make it an awesome environment.
Yeah.
But we're starting to see these environments really catch on at
Yeah.
the Lloyd Noble Center for you guys as well too. For those that maybe are catching us tonight and haven't been, it's a different world. It's fun. You guys are energetic. You're good.
Yeah.
Kind of take us through the difference a great crowd can make and has made for you.
Coming from a school at Oregon State where we had a really nice crowd, and then coming to Norman where you guys continue to come and bring so much energy, it truly makes a difference. I've played in extremely quiet gyms, and I've played in extremely loud gyms, and there is a difference. And so whether you're cheering, whether you're there, all of it is beyond important. And we are so thankful for all of you that continue to come out to support us, to come to these things.
Absolutely.
Even. And we could not do it without you. And we do it because we love you guys as fans. So we love playing for you. We love getting that energy from you, because then that just makes us play better, because then we have energy.
Yes.
So to have you guys there, to have you up and cheering and supporting us, it makes us really happy and makes us love what we do every single day.
Before we let you get out of here, let's take. You guys can applaud for that. It's like a wrestler
Absolutely.
cutting a promo. And I'm going to tell you what, whenever you come to town. But let's take a look at our upcoming Sooner schedule this week. And as always, it's brought to you by One Oklahoma, who is powered by Sooner Sports Properties. And there you see it.
Yep.
Got Ole Miss coming to town. Got a tough trip to Kentucky. And then LSU right around the corner, Coach.
Yeah,
always
gauntlet,
a challenge in
man.
this league.
Gauntlet. Well, I mean, our next challenge is Ole Miss, so that's where
Right.
that's where we're focused on, and they're physical, and they're fast, and they're athletic, and they're long and tall. So we don't get a day off, so we got to bring it tomorrow in practice and prepare like crazy.
Great job, y'all. Thanks, Reagan. It's
Thanks
good to
so
see
much.
you. Coach, as always,
Absolutely.
you're the man.
Thank you. Boo
How
Bear.
about that? Mike
Sooner.
Beer, Reagan Beers. We're back with Porter Moser. Stick around.
Sooner Sports Talk is brought to you by Sooner Kids Club. Log on to Soonersports.com/kids for information about joining the Kids Club presented by OG&E and brought to you in part by Devon Energy. We want to thank all of our Sooner Radio Network affiliates across the state and region. Fans can check out Soonersports.com for an affiliate in your area. And if you're traveling outside the state of Oklahoma, you can listen to all the action on either SiriusXM Radio or download the Varsity Network app and listen free. Dos Equis, the official import beer of OU Athletics. Go for Dos. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. One Oklahoma, powered by Sooner Sports Properties. Fan-fueled, athlete-focused. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, bringing you the best in real Texas barbecue.
Welcome back to Sooner Sports Talk. It's time to talk men's hoops. We are joined by Oklahoma head coach Porter Moser. What's up, Coach? Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
And Nigel Pack. Welcome, Nigel.
Thank you.
Making
Thank you
your
for having
debut
me.
here, man. Pumped to
Appreciate
have you. Well, first and foremost, let's talk about, Coach, the 86-70 win over Ole Miss. Got off to a great start in conference play. You used a term in your interview with Toby that I loved. This team is intentional with its adjustments, and I thought that was pretty cool, especially whenever you looked at how this team defended the three-point line on Saturday. Excuse me.
You know, I've been telling the group probably starting back in the summer, because we're constantly doing these weekly Get Better tapes, that this has been a group, and mainly because they're older, mature, and they've been through a lot, that we really talk about things we need to get better. We really address it, and they really do a good job making adjustments. I mean, for the example is at halftime we talked about we had two guys in foul trouble, Tay and X, and we gave up 9 threes in the first half, and we were still up 2. And we talked about it. We were able to show film at halftime and showed like 5 or 6 threes we gave up, how we need to do better, and kind of got on them, and not that much, but they came back in the second half. We gave up 1 in the second half. And that's been kind of a theme. Like after Gonzaga, we just got obliterated on the glass. We've been much better. We've been right there and rebounding in every game. So it's the team that's been intentional that you can just talk to them. Hey, this is what we got to do. And they really, really push an effort to try to get it done.
Nigel, do you feel that this team been pretty intentional with what coaches give them than wanting to make it work, get it better?
Yeah, I feel like this team is very mature, and that's what it takes out of mature and an older group. We take coaching and, we take it in a positive way, and we try to get better because we know at the end of the day, coach wants us to be best and, play as hard as we can. And we try to listen to our coaches and, execute that.
Anything that happened in the Gonzaga game, Coach, is my fault because I was there. So that's now
let's just start with that.
We eliminated that.
Okay.
I haven't had any more games to call now that Toby's back. But this team, the word respond comes to mind a lot, Coach. And even in the most adverse situations, it seems like this team has an ability to respond. Have you seen that?
I for sure have. Just how we came back from that game, and we've grown so much. Everyone asks us how much we've grown. We've been very fortunate. We've had the same starting lineup all year, and we have a very mature starting lineup. I mean, just for Nigel. Nigel's played in the Final Four. Nigel's played in the Big 12. I mean, he's seen every stage, every level, every situation. And what we had to develop was look back at Gonzaga, look at our bench. You had Kawale Tak, who hadn't played Division I. Kai Rogers hadn't played Division I. We had Dayton, who had 1 year Division I, and Jeff Wanko hadn't played Division I yet, and because Jadon Jones was hurt. Now you look at, now we're 13, 14 games in. Kawal's growing. Jadon's back. Kai, and then we got Kirill added to things. So I think we're deeper than we were, a month ago, and our bench has developed more. And I think that's been a huge weapon for us.
Yeah, and Nigel, you have that incredible run at Kansas State after Miami came here, and we're pumped you're here. What has that process been like to be a mentor for those older guys and set that example going forward?
Yeah, I mean, I remember talking to Coach in the early beginning, and he was like, man, we need this leadership out of you. You've seen it all. You've seen every situation. You play at the high level. And some of these guys haven't played that yet, and I feel like they came in and they were open to coaching and leadership, and I just been kind of trying to give them advice where I can. And they still play hard at the same time because all these guys are here for a reason and they can play. So I'm just trying to give them little nuggets when I can.
What is that process like in creating chemistry? Because it is, so many moving. Thus is college basketball anymore, right? But what's that process like in the locker room amongst the players with guys that you hadn't really necessarily played together with, and boom, you got to go play an SEC schedule?
Yeah, I feel like it's a couple of different things. I mean, spending time off the court is obviously important, and doing different things and fun activities is a good time. And then also when you get put into hard situations with each other, that kind of forces you to build chemistry with each other. When you have to do things that you really don't feel like doing, or something that's really, really tough. You really see, who's your brother and who's with you. And Coach really put us through some tough times in the summer, and I feel like we built our chemistry with that, and then we also had some fun off the court as well.
Has that been an adjustment for you?
It's so fun to listen to, young guys, young men, and just talk about, just see the wisdom that he's got. I mean, and in life, you grow through struggle. You really do. And, some people take on a winning mentality when they go through struggle. Some people take on victim mentality when you go through struggle. And it's something you try to instill in young people. And, it was intentional. I tell you, the first intention was in the recruiting process of really vetting character, vetting the kind of guys, vetting, the kind of teammates they were. And, to the one, we got a great group of young men that I think the chemistry offensively started early. And it's guys like Nigel and X who have the ball in their hand the most that share the ball. We all know that Nigel can really, really score, really, really shoot it, but he also had 5 assists a game when we recruited him, and he just shares it, and that is contagious. When you have a couple guys that have the ball in their hand a lot that don't share it, that becomes contagious. And I think we built a chemistry sharing the ball very, very early, and where we're growing and where we're trending is creating this chemistry defensively, where we're rotating, we have each other's back, everybody's not breaking, and everybody's working together, and I think we're trending in that area too. But you got to start in the recruiting process and be intentional with what's important to you, what boxes do you have to check, and we just really wanted those guys that are coachable, want to be part of this thing, work hard, but we had to have talent too. And I think we checked those boxes.
What? It's a great lead into my next question, Coach. What did draw you to Norman? What was it that said, "Hey, I want to come play for Porter Moser"?
Yeah, I mean, I was, pretty detailed with the boxes that I wanted checked too when I was in the transfer portal and stuff like that. And I remember first talking with Coach, and he was extremely detailed on the plan that he had for me and this team. And that's what really drew me in. Because the game is only so much on the court. Most of it is mentally. Most of it is the film and different things like that. And how can you outsmart somebody on the court? And I feel like Coach Moser had all that, and then from the first meeting till now, and I can see that continue. And I feel like that gives this team an advantage when we're mentally smarter. And I feel like that can make us a really good team in March.
Knowing how detail oriented you are, just watching from afar, that had to be like music to your ears when you sat down with Nigel.
Well, I tell you what drew me to Nigel is I've known him. Ironically, I went and saw him when I was at Loyola, and he was a young guy. Because he's from Indianapolis, and I was at Loyola, and I was 0 for 1 in that recruiting process. And he went to Kansas State. But I knew him. I went in. I remember watching him at a high school thing, and then I coached against him when he was with Coach Weber at Kansas State. We beat him, we twice. But I've always been drawn to like his calmness and his shooting ability. And then the very first conversation I had with him, I remember I was at the Final Four. I called you. I was at the CA function. And I walked out and I was talking to you. And he mentioned right away, he goes, "Coach, I know that the Final Four is in Indianapolis this year." And he goes, "That's where I want to go." Like, that was like in the first couple minutes, and I'm like, I'm in. This kid was all about winning, because a lot of times we heard a lot of other things, first conversations in the portal. And Nigel's first conversation was about winning and getting to Indianapolis, his hometown, in the Final Four.
That's awesome. You had a decision to make, because you could have gone and played overseas. You could have put your name in the draft, could have gone to the G League, and you'd battle some injuries. What made you decide college was still where you wanted to be?
I mean, this is a great time to be in college basketball. I mean, it's very competitive. I mean, NIL is a great thing as well. And I feel like, I haven't, been healthy in the last few years. So it just left a lot of doubt for me. Like, it's a lot of stuff that I still wanted to prove. And I haven't, done the winning that I wanted to do yet. And I feel like this is another chance to do it here. And I feel like we had a great squad. And I'm like, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, and you mentioned the injuries. How frustrating was that for you?
Man, injuries are tough, man, because sometimes you can't control it, and going through different things and then trying to get healthy, and still wanting to play at a high level and be really good. It's just tough, man. It's tough, but I'm glad to be healthy this year and feeling really great, and to be able to practice every day and play in these games is just it's a blessing.
With two ball-dominant guys like yourself and Xavier Brown, Coach, how has that been for you? Because they're on the court together. So what's that been like for you?
I mean, it's a credit to them. They share it. They move it. They look for each other. They look for other guys. I'll say this, and I've said this before. Nigel has the green light, and he hasn't abused it.
Oh, wow.
That's a great statement by me, because I do think about it. I mean, he knows he has the green light, but he doesn't abuse it. He gets other guys involved. He takes good shots, and that's really a comfort level as a coach to know a guy can score like that, but also is willing to pass and can pass.
I would totally have abused it, by the way, if I had the green light.
I wouldn't have given you the green light.
No, well, I wouldn't get it from Coach Moser. There's no way at all. Hey, final thought before you get a break. Since we're talking about X, I know he battled through the flu this weekend, but what's it been like playing with him? What's it like having him as a teammate? How are you guys coming together?
Man, I feel like we built chemistry early, and it's crazy because we actually have some connections from before we got here. And I talked to a couple guys that are from Philly as well, and they were like, "Man, you're gonna love playing with X. Like, he's a cool dude. Even Coach Scott is with it. Like, you're gonna love Coach Scott too. Like, he's amazing to play with. He's a great player." And then when I got here, it was amazing. Like, he's a great point guard. He's a great leader as well. It's amazing to play with him, man. And I see where he can go.
Yeah.
I mean, he really helps his team. Help his team go, and there's nothing to complain about. I brag on him all the time, and he's been playing really well as of late, and I'm really excited to see what we can do in the SEC, and I always got his back for sure.
That's awesome. We got one more segment. This segment's been brought to you by Riverwind Casino. Always a good time. We'll talk about the upcoming schedule with Porter Moser and Nigel Pack next. Live, it's from Rudy's. It's Sooner Sports Talk.
OU's 2025-2026 women's basketball games are available on Ritmo 96.5 FM in Oklahoma City and 101.5 FM El Patron in Tulsa, as well as on those stations' websites. Each OU Spanish broadcast will feature a 15-minute pregame show and a 15-minute postgame show. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, bringing you the best in real Texas barbecue. The Sooner Sports Podcast is your all-access audio pass to Sooner Sports. Listen as Toby Rowland and Chris Plank talk all things Sooners. Log on to Soonersports.com/podcast or search Sooner Sports Podcast in your favorite podcast provider. The Sooner Sports Podcast is presented by Allstate and Riverwind Casino.
Welcome back. Our final segment of Sooner Sports Talk with Nigel Pack and, of course, head coach Porter Moser is brought to you by Mercy. Mercy, your life is our life's work. You know, we were talking a little bit, Coach, during the break about Tay Davis. 6 assists, no turnovers, was pretty key in that 21-8 run down the stretch against Ole Miss. That's another guy that you can put the ball in his hands and he can run this offense.
No, we've been doing it for this year. The game that we really started doing was Marquette. And because he's so unique. He's 6'9" and can really handle it, and he can pass. He can see over some things, and he can get to the rim. And so to have 6 assists, and we've been doing it. It takes, especially with Dayton out, and we'll continue to do it because it is tricky. Like if we had a scout against 6'9" coming off ball screens, it's usually your 4-man is guarding, so now all of a sudden your 4 and 5 are in all these ball screens. I say that, and Tay's one of our best defenders. But it really has been a luxury for him, and I think he's enjoying it because it's expanding his game more. But he did it a lot at Notre Dame. I don't want to say that this was a novel idea by me. I mean, he's done it. We saw it at Notre Dame. It was one of the reasons why we thought he would really help what we're trying to do. But he also then can create the domino and scrambles, and then X and Nigel can be the receiving end of when the defense starts scrambling.
It's awesome to see. What is he like as a teammate? Because you got a great familiarity with Tay, don't you?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, going back to even us going to high school together, it's great to be back out there again. And, you know, when we were in high school, he looked way different. He was skinny. He was not an athlete like that either. So to see him now,
really?
How he
wasn't athletic in high school. Really?
I got to show you a video actually.
Okay. All right, I didn't know that.
So to see how much he's changed and you know how strong he is now and how much of an athlete he is just crazy to see how much he's changed.
All right, let's look at the schedule here that's coming up, and it's brought to you by One Oklahoma. One Oklahoma, powered by Sooner Sports Properties, Fan Field. Athlete focus. We're heading down to Stark Vegas, as the kids call it, then a road trip to College Station before the defending national champs come to town. No days off in this league, regardless of what an opposing team's record might be. No,
you don't, and it's just the grind we're in. But you just truly got to take one at a time, and just you're running up a hill, and what's in front of you got to knock it out and keep running. And, you know, Mississippi State is one of the hotter teams. They've won, I think, 5-6 in a row. They just won at Texas. But even the one they lost, before that, Hubbard was hurt, their best player. Hubbard only played 4 minutes of that game. But they're probably one of the hotter teams in the league. And you've been in all the best, Big 12, ACC, now SEC. I know it's only one game in, but it's a grind, isn't it? Man, it is. I mean, you can't take a night off. And you know, all these teams are, you know, looking to go 1-0 and to win this league, and that's, you know, a goal that we set early. And we know every night, you know, different team, no matter what their record might be in the league or what their record might be, they're going to give us our best shot. Coach, one of the coolest things, I'm going to go back to the game that I called, being at Gonzaga, you looked over at your bench, you didn't have a lot of depth. Now you fast forward and you see Kai Rogers and you see Jadon getting back, and obviously you add Kirill to this mix. How cool has it been to see that depth develop? And I know Forsyth will be back, but to see that depth develop now to what you have for the squad. You have to. It's such a grind. You have to have depth. And then you don't know about injuries. I mean, we've had back-to-back years that we've lost our 5-man for the whole year. 2 years ago, we had John Hughley, and we were like, 18-6 or something like that. We went 2-8 the last 10 games or whatever it was, 2-6 or something, and we're the last ones out. Last year we lost Sam the last 5 years. So to get depth, and you look at like when you hopefully we'll all be here when we play Florida next week. You'll see Florida. Florida's one of the biggest teams, the best offense. They go 7 foot, 7 foot, 6'10", 7 foot. They just keep bringing them in, and you got to have depth with that. And I think Krill gives us depth, and I'll just share with you how the day it was after Stetson, when like 6 in the morning we got the text from their family and everything that he got his visa, and within 30, like not even 15 minutes, all the social media outlets had it, and they're calling me and they're like, hey, can we tweet this out that you're getting Krill? I'm like, it's 7 o'clock. We just beat Stetson, and I said, you got to give me 30 minutes. I got to call my players, because we haven't talked to our players because we didn't know if they have a visa. So my first call was to Mo Wegge, and I said, Mo, you're our guy. You've been our leader. You're our guy. This is for depth, and I want you to hear it from me. We're adding another piece, and he was like, great. Then I called Kai. Kai was my second. I said, Kai, you're trending. You're trending, and keep working. This is about depth and anything. You got to keep working. Then I talked to Nigel. Nigel had a message. He got off his plane in Indianapolis. He's like, oh, crap, what the hell's wrong? Coach has already called me at 7 in the morning. Remember that? Yeah. I was just calling the players as fast as I could because I wanted to let them hear it from me. But we didn't know if we could tell him because we didn't know if he was going to get his visa, because it's a little tricky in Russia.
Yeah, but we got him, and there's more depth. And he looked pretty good whenever he meshes in. Has it been pretty smooth in the locker room with him?
Yeah, it's been interesting, honestly, and I give my hats off to him, man. To learn a Coach Moser playbook in a few days and not speak English as your first language, man, I got to give him a round of applause. You got to give him a round of applause for that,
Nigel,
man. I got to give him that.
Hey, man, you're great. This has been awesome.
It.
I've enjoyed watching you play, and it's a blast to sit here and talk to you, Coach. Congrats on
Thanks, Chris. Thank you, guys.
Great start to SEC play, and enjoy the road trip. We'll be rowdy back here when you guys bring the defending national champs Florida to town. That's Porter Moser and Nigel Pack. We'll come back and we'll wrap up Sooner Sports Talk next, live from Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. Stick around.
The Huddle is brought to you by Walden Cleaners and Laundry, where the difference is quality. We want to thank all of our Sooner Radio Network affiliates across the state and region. Fans can check out Soonersports.com for an affiliate in your area. And if you're traveling outside the state of Oklahoma, you can listen to all the action on either SiriusXM Radio or download the Varsity Network app and listen free.
Thanks for joining us for the Huddle and Sooner Sports Talk. Our final segment brought to you by Love's Travel Stops, the heart of the highway. We'll see you back here next Monday night at Rudy's. Boomer Sooner.
Live at Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, Sooner Sports Talk has been brought to you by Dos Equis, official import beer of OU Athletics. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. And by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, bringing you the best in real Texas barbecue. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Sooner Sports Network.